Hello folks, this is Alexander Sebastian talking to you again about parents working as partners, and as partners with each other and as partners with their children. But are all parents cut out to be parents? Today's episode is called Parenting, a Joy or a Job. You know, a parent is a bit like being an artist. You get the materials that you have, and you have to do the best you can with them, bringing in your skill and your inspiration, because I think that's what makes art: skill, inspiration, and then some kind of medium to express it on. Your child is your medium, and he's made up of what you and your spouse contributed to him, and you have to rely on your own inspiration and develop your skills to make the best product in the end, and hopefully it'll be an inspirational product that you can. There's no schools for this. If it's you're having your first child, there's you just have to basically, of course, you'll listen to your parents and your friends, and you'll do the research, but the only way to get it down is through your own personal experience. I can tell you this: I have 3 children, 1 grown daughter and 2 teenagers. I think they all turned out okay, but I think I was lucky. I think I was made to be a parent. But not everyone is, huh? Not everyone has that skill or the inspiration to be a good parent. And why should they? Any more than they should be, everyone should be an artist or a sports person. It's kind of a gift to be a good parent, and those who aren't given that gift by the luck of the draw, they just do the best they can and struggle along with it, and they should not feel guilty. It's not really their fault. Children are not like something that you buy in a store and that you can take it home and try it out with, and if you don't like it, there is no service desk to take your children back to. So regardless of how it starts out, you're basically stuck with it, and you're going to have to, and you might as well make the best of it, huh? In a magazine called Parents, in a compilation of parents' confessions entitled "Parents Who Regret Having Children," and it was in the Mirror newspaper. I'm sure you can find it. One woman shared her experience about being on the journey to motherhood, and she says, and I quote, "I planned my one pregnancy and thought I desperately wanted to have a baby. I figured out pretty close to immediately after her birth that I had made a grave error. I just wasn't cut out to be a mother." Another parent wrote in the same article that she just figured out she was much too selfish to have a baby and to be a parent. But she had to put up with it. Another parent wrote, "I don't regret the person my son is, although I wish he didn't receive so many of my adverse traits. I do regret the fact that I have done such a lousy job parenting him. He deserves more than what I was able to give him." Another wrote, "I regret having children because I wasn't ready, and because I'm much too selfish." And another one, "I regret having a child because it's really, really a big job, and it's just too much for me to handle." Some people wrote that they thought it would help their marriage, but it didn't. And this one particular couple wrote that it immediately plunged their relationship into seemingly endless spiral of resentment and depression and chaos. So let's face it, some people just aren't cut out to be parents. It requires the skill and a certain disposition. The skills such as being organized, and if you're going to change the baby's diapers, that you have everything you need there, and that you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen with the child, and safety-proof your house, and plan things out ahead of time. Don't run out of diapers. Don't run out of baby powder, if you're still using that. Have a babysitter on hand. It takes planning, and planning is just one of the many skills you'll need as to be an efficient parent. And efficiency will result in a higher degree of happiness in the experience. But besides the skill and the physical energy it takes, because children are a lot of work, there's no doubt about that. Especially in the first, as you know, or heard about, in the first months, getting up at night, taking care of them, you feel like you've never caught up on your sleep. But that's where the disposition comes in. If you have a disposition that can see the joy in the simple things, when that first baby grabs your finger for the first time and begins making the noises, the happy noises, and looking at you and smiling, and then starts crawling around, and later on, as a toddler, starts dressing up in your clothes or things they find, and then starting the first day of school. There are so many, an innumerable amount of wonderful moments, but you have to take the time to see them and be aware they're coming, and then appreciate them. This is the payback, because there's not much else payback except these few moments when you can see your child growing up and doing and moving on from step to step, and those beautiful moments. And you also get the payback of knowing that you're going to have some kind of impact in the world probably longer than you're going to be here, huh? So and never underestimate the importance of the job of being a parent. It's the number one job in the world. If everybody did a good job, or the best as they can in being a parent, our world would be a much more peaceful, happy, stimulating environment which encourage each of us to grow. So there is no more important job. So it's tough, it's fun if you can see it, and if you have the right disposition, and it's very, very important. So those dispositions are being able to see the moment, which we just talked about, and not taking things too seriously. If things go, you can't be in control of everything. They have their own, your little ones have their own mind, and they will be doing things totally on the unexpected. Accept that you can't have everything under control, and just live with it. It's a learning experience for both you and your child, huh? So your skills will get better. The first one, it's tough, you feel insecure, but you'll probably, as most of us do anyway, come out of it on the other side pretty well. And if it's your second or third child, you just get better at it. But don't stop seeing the joys in those moments, huh? Short recap, so the skills are organizational skills, planning ahead, getting your web of support, getting your sleep, that's a skill too. And the dispositions are seeing the funny things and the nice things in these little moments that come along. Take the time, keep your eye open for them. Have a smile on your face. Everybody likes that, having a smile. But as the child gets older, what you've learned when your child is just a baby, most of what you've learned there will soon become obsolete, and you have to change your skills as the child goes into the toddler stage and starts going off to school. So you have to upgrade your skills as you move along. So once you get in the first year and 18 months, you may think you have it down. Well, just when you think you have it down, then it's time to sharpen that saw, as they say in the 7 traits of the most effective people, and move on to the next. You can find out, there's enough resources to tell you what you need to do and how to keep your ahead of the game as your child is moving on. A lot of parents refer back to their parents' parenting as a model for their behavior. If you think that your parents did a good job with you and you remember your childhood as a happy time, then your parents probably did do the right thing. But there might be some things that you want to take from them and some things you want to tweak and do a little bit better. Number one thing is to take the time. if you take the time to be with your child and are not stressed out because you have to get them fed to get them off to the daycare center, which gets parents yelling at their kids and possible accidents and things are forgotten. And if when you get home at night, if you can get home, if you have to go out of the home, if you can come home and have your partner help you with the baby and with the food, and those years go so quickly, the early years, all the years go so quickly that you need to spend some time, turn off your Facebook, turn off those time eaters and take pictures of your children, take pictures of you with the children. These will be great memories, but you have to structure it. Just don't let it slip away, huh? Also, as a parent, it's important that besides your pleasant disposition, that you are predictable. When a child comes home in the afternoon, and the spouse, no one likes to be thinking, well, how's the person going to be inside when I get there? They're going to be in a good mood, going to be in a bad mood, going to be touchy. Do I have to tiptoe in? So I know we all have problems, psychosocial problems, physical problems, but when the family's together, everyone needs to put on their, make the best effort to be a happy, contributing part of the family environment. Also, in the predictability of the parent, consequences of children's actions need to be predictable. So if your child takes risks, which we want to encourage our children to take risks, risks that are reasonable and that the consequences of which will not hurt the child or someone else or something else, but taking risks and managing them is how our children are going to grow. But if they take a risk in something they shouldn't, and they mess up, or even are successful but shouldn't have been playing in the fireplace or have the stove on or doing something that could be dangerous for them, the consequence should be in measure of what they have done wrong, and it should be predictable. If you tell someone, the child, that if they throw the cat down the stairs, that they're going to have to go to bed early, then you must carry through with that. The child needs to know what the rules of the game are, and if he does something, that there's going to be a consequence, and that the consequence, that the child needs to know the consequence is fair. He's been warned, he's done it, he accepts responsibility, and he takes the consequences. That's training your child to move towards maturity. Number one thing is good feeling in the house, good vibration, an environment of love and caring and sharing. And this all takes time and planning and getting up from your chair and greeting each other, things like this. Doesn't have to do with money, because you know very well that a lot of very unhappy families who have a lot of money. I know there's a lot of very unhappy families that don't have money as well. But whatever your financial situation is, you can make your home a nice place where people want to grow up in and are grateful for it. So that's our topic today. Parenting and parents as partners. I hope you enjoyed this one. Come back and see us for our next one, and thank you for tuning in. All the best. Bye-bye.